Hermocritus. To be sure, just as Timaeus here was saying, Socrates, we won't be lacking in heart, nor is there any pretext whatsoever on our part for not doing what you say. So that even yesterday, from the very moment we left you and arrived back at the guest room in Cretus's house, where we're staying, and earlier still as we're on the way, we in our turn were looking into these things. Then this fellow here related us on an account that comes from old hearsay. So now, Critus, tell him what you told us, so that he may join us in examining whether it's serviceable or unserviceable for the order we've been given. That's what must be done. That is, if it also seems good to our third partner, Timaeus. Why, of course, it seems good. Hear then, Socrates, an account most strange, and yet altogether true, as Solon, the wisest of the seven, once claimed. Now Solon was a relative and really close friend of our great-grandfather Dropides, just as he himself often says in his poetry, and Dropides told our grandfather Critus, as the old man in turn related to us from memory, that great and wondrous were the old deeds of this city here, deeds that have disappeared as a result of time and thus destruction of mankind. But one was the greatest of them all, a deed that would be fitting for us to remember now, as to render our debt for thanks to you, and at the same time to praise the goddess on her feast day by singing, as it were, in a manner both just and true. Footnote. The feast to which Critus refers is probably the Greater Panthenia, the celebrations of Athena's birthday, which took place every 4 years. The main event was adorning the goddess's statue in the Acropolis with colorful and elaborately woven peplos, or robe. The robe depicted the battle of the gods and the giants and was conveyed to the Acropolis draped on the mast of a ship mounted on wheels. For more on the Panathenea and Athenian festivals generally, see H.W. Parke, Festivals of the Athenians Ithaca, New York, Cornell University Press, 1977. End of footnote. Well spoken, but now what sort of deeds was this that Critus related? A deed not spoken of, but genuinely enacted by this city in ancient times, according to hearsay from Solon. I shall proclaim it, having heard an old account from a man not young, for indeed at the time, Critus, so he claimed, was already fairly close to 90, while I was somewhere around 10, and it happened to be our day of Creotis during Apatria. Footnote. The Apatria was held in October and came to be associated with the god Dionysus. Creotis took place on the third day of the festival, at which time the youths, or Kuri, were initiated into their clan. The word Apatria derives from Phatria, or brotherhood, but also suggests the Greek word for deception, apate. See Park, pages 88 through 92. Now the children's part of the festival that was usually held on that occasion also took place at the time, and our fathers set up contests in the recitation of epic poetry.